So we just, the council approved the GRT increase, and that's to finance, some $70 million in bonds that would not be financeable without an increase in taxes. I've objected to the whole process for years, so I voted against our previous budgets on most occasions. And the reason, of course, is that we've had this period of really robust tax receipts, spectacular amounts of money coming to the county, and you could compare that to the history. It's far more money than we've ever had. And that what the county has been doing is expanding spending to match the new money coming in. And you can't really do that when what we're looking at, I'm sure, is windfall funding from the lab. And it's not going to be repeated. It's not something you count on year after year. It's not something you write a bond for. It is something where you take that money as a one-time expense for capital projects and other one-time things. It is not money that is part of a continuing, ongoing operating budget. And so I've been making that argument for years, and I've lost all of those votes. So now we're in this position where the lab is, of course, shrinking its payments, and they could continue downward. I don't understand why it's going to stop. There's been a period in Washington, which, since I'm a Republican, I'll call it the Biden era, of manic spending, and the lab is a beneficiary of that. And then the county in turn benefited from that. But that just can't go on, and it is certainly slowing way down. And I think that in turn, the lab's growth of big, huge contracts have slowed down, and now we're going to see that show up in the county tax receipts. And we shouldn't be writing bonds and other things that are really huge expenses. We should have taken all of that money and viewed it as a windfall and accumulated as unassigned balances in our accounts, and then we could pay for the things we really need. It has been unfortunate that position has never won in county budget voting, and some of the things we've seen, clearly there's no support for economizing in any aspect of the budget, and that's the way the county council works. And I'm the only one in opposition to the tax increase and also a lot of the other spending things that we do. There's a little bit of stuff we need to do. We need to bolster our small business environment, our retail environment. We need to bolster a low-income housing, but we don't need to do the 1,000 other things that are on every budget. So we can go into, for example, the artificial turf study is a very expensive $3 million worth of new grass. And we need some of that, but I think the whole projects are vastly overdone. And we need to send it back to the county staff to give us a trimmed down version of that, because I think there's one or two fields that need to be converted to artificial turf, and maybe one field, and that's about it. And I don't know I do not agree with this phenomenal amount of interest in that, and that enormous amount of expense, like $3 million. And so hopefully that will be one time when the county will say, the county council will say no to the county staff on a major budget item, but we'll see. I wouldn't hold out too much hope for it, but it is a possibility that could be slowed down a little bit and made more, I would call it responsible. Thank you.